Today we're going to have a quick, it'll be a quick entry-level presentation, just kind of communicate some background with Quadraspace, some of the things that you can do with the software in general, a quick discussion of the products, and then we will jump right into a demonstration of the specific topic for today, which is illustrated parts lists from your 3D models. So we circled, basically today it's going to be mostly about creating printed documents. The illustrated parts lists in this case are going to be more of a printed document with a exploded view and a bill of materials display that matches your balloons in the exploded view. There's other ways for doing parts lists that can be interactive, where you can click parts lists, the items in a parts list, and they'll highlight in the 3D view and vice versa. That would be covered in a different webinar. Today we're going to focus keenly in on printed materials and how you would go through and create standard printed parts lists. Some of the other things that you can do with Quadraspace software that we won't be talking about today is in general just making illustrations. This would just be graphical content or animations, and I mentioned the interactive documents. If you're looking at it from an industry perspective, Quadraspace is very useful for creating everything from work instructions to technical data sheets, online catalogs, 3D PDF documents, presentations. Today, like we said, was going to be the illustrated parts list section down there. That actually falls into multiple categories. It's listed here under service and support, but clearly that can be a marketing item or a sales or a manufacturing item as well. Work instructions are often just created with illustrated parts list and a short description, things like that. We'll be focusing on the Pages 3D product. Pages 3D uniquely allows you to generate documents with embedded 3D content. This means that as a solution, you're able to create your document page, edit your document page, right there at the same time that you're working with your 3D. So there's no need to work with the 3D and then push it into Word or some other authoring tool. You're able to do multiple page documents right here. And there's a lot of power to that, and we'll go through some of those powers in the actual demonstration. But it really lets you leverage your 3D more capably. This webinar, what we're going to go over, illustrated parts. We're going to do some illustration creation. We're going to directly use a 3D model. In this case, it's going to be a SolidWorks model. We also support things like Pro-E or Inventor or DWF or SketchUp, STEP, IGES, various other 3D formats can be imported. We're going to talk a little bit about balloons and how they match the parts lists. We're going to also work with parts lists and where they'll automatically display a parts list that matches a subset of parts. And you'll see that in the demonstration. We're going to do some page layout, and we're going to talk about how a template's created. We'll start from a template, and then at the end we'll talk about how we've created that. We will have a little discussion on exploded views. There's some exploded view webinars already out there. The work instruction goes into a lot more detail on exploded views than we will today, but we'll have to do a few here in order to do our illustrated parts list. We'll actually also talk a little bit about our updates and managing large projects, some of the best practices for that. And then at the end, what we're going to be able to do is produce a printed or a standard PDF. That means a non-interactive PDF document for distribution. Like I said before, you can do interactive 3D documents as well. This is just the webinar that's focused in on the printed side of things. And we're going to use Pages 3D for the authoring of these. I think we're about ready to go through a few things here. Some of the benefits of Quadraspace, we have a very easy to use ribbon-based user interface. Allows you, it's organized very well from 3D tools to page design tools, and we'll go over that a little bit at the beginning. We're affordably priced. We have a nice pricing model. And some of the specific benefits, with one application you can do it all. That goes back to the integration of a page design tool and 3D. We have automation capabilities. We usually call those smart template technology. That means that you can take things like an exploded view or a parts list and automatically generate graphics from that. And with pages, you can automatically lay out various views on a page using that smart template technology. So you get a lot of automation out of that. There's large project management, so there's capabilities with regards to configurations that allow you to work with subsets of parts throughout your project. Very powerful for working with larger models. And then document updates with 3D design changes. So when your design and 3D changes, you're able to go through and update an entire document with a single command. And this is kind of just a relay of the same things there. Update tools, large project management, automation with the smart template technology. There's a graphic here kind of showing how the smart template technology works. This example is from an exploded view where you have various steps in your exploded view. You push that through your smart template technology using this as the viewpoint template, and out pops all these different step-by-step processes in this case. Now, we won't be doing that. In this case, that's an example. The more relevant one for this one might be to take a bill of materials over on this side and push that through and generate isolated views of each of your parts on various pages. And then a big one, integrated 3D and page design. That means that you don't have to use multiple programs in order to get a final document as a result. Most of the competitors out there, in fact, I'd say almost all, would require that you use Word or InDesign or some other page design tool in order to actually get from a 3D model to a final document. Whereas with Pages 3D, you can do it all with one single product. That means you only have to learn a single product, you only have to have IT install a single product, you only have to pay for a single product, and you only have to maintain one product. So it's very helpful across the board as far as financially and from a user standpoint. Okay, so getting into the demo, the Pages Professional is what we're going to demonstrate today. This product allows us to author complete documents using the 3D and the metadata associated with those. We've talked about the patented approach that integrates both the page design with the 3D. And we're going to publish these documents today as printed outputs with the high resolution imagery. So that's pretty much where we're headed here. So along the way, I'm going to switch over to actually to Pages right now, and hopefully you guys can see this and everything. But along the way, I'm just going to continue through, and if you have any questions, please go ahead and type them in to your question box as you go through, and at the end we'll have a question and answer session where I can provide some specific details to maybe what your project is looking for or something. So, well, let's get started. As you can see, this is Pages 3D. This is the startup screen that you'll have. That's the quick start dialog there. And what I've done is just a tiny bit of preparation before this one. I went and modified one of our stock templates to create something that's a little more relevant for what my fictional company here will be, ABC Company. So we're going to do a new from template. And this will bring up our template choices. If you notice the stock top here, we have a whole list of different types of templates. These come with the product, and they make a great way to start your documentation, or you can take these and tweak these, and that's what I've done. So I'm down in my custom area here. I have now an illustrated parts list that I put together based on a previous template that's specific to my fictional company, ABC Company here. And if you notice here, I have two different pages that we're going to use for our parts list creation. Have kind of a cover page here, which will have our entire part show up on, and then we're going to use this one over and over for different configurations for different subsets of parts. So let's pick this template, and we'll just hit. I'm actually going to go and just use this page only, so we don't have to delete the other pages. We're going to insert those in a minute. So we'll next, and then we're going to browse. And let's see, let's go back to my demo model for the day. Work instructions. Nope, that's the old demo. Parts list. Okay, so we have a miter saw, and this is just a solid assembly, as you can see here. If you look through the different supported types, there's quite a few here, from Rhino to Inventor to Pro Engineer. This is SolidWorks or SketchUp, iJustStep, variety of different parts allowing you to bring in different tools. Support for things like Solid Edge and CATIA and Unigraphics would be through a STEP or an iJust file. STEP is quite often the more reasonable one there. Okay, so let's go ahead and begin this import. What's going to happen now is that this model is going to be imported, and it's going to be inserted into the template that we chose. And since I chose first page only, I checked that little checkbox for the first page. Then what we're going to get is a template that only has one page, and I'll show you how to get to the other ones here. Okay, so there it is, inserted into this first page of my document. Right off the bat, I can use my mouse. I'm using the right mouse to zoom in and out. I can use my left mouse to object, position it the way I want to. The middle mouse will pan. That's kind of your behavior. There's other, using this viewpoint panel here, you can choose and select different ways of manipulating the 3D scene. The other templates, there was one other template page. If I look down through this new page, if I wanted to insert a new page, you can see here is that other part of this document that we're going to be using in just a minute. And if I click that, we can insert that page. We'll do that in just a second. Some other things you can do, just if you're not familiar with Quadraspace, I can go to this Edit Page mode right off my home ribbon. And I could tweak this out. If I don't, if I want to add a text box, or obviously I might want to edit this text in here, so the general instructions might be to review this parts list and then submit for approval or something. I don't know. But the point here is that you can use the text just by typing it right into the document page without having to bounce between different tools. The logo down here, this is just an image. You can reposition it, resize it however you want on your document page. And then the same with the 3D views. If I click the 3D view, you'll notice I get little handles, and I can position this just like I would an image or something in PowerPoint.